before we talk, you want me to be truthful with you, everything, right? On your, yeah, I want tell me about my medical exam. You sure you want to be truthful with you? Yeah, I want you to be truthful with me.
But if you can recognize, and I agree with you, that we're living in a country now where people, it's devolved to such a point of he said, she said, and shit that like these are the presidential candidates we have to choose from, and it's a giant reality show. Just at a high level, one example right there to say
Right.
nothing of the rest of the internet that we can all see. I can see how psychologically people that you've spent your career around sitting in serious rooms like skiffs that have seen all the worst shit that this world has to offer and know things through the literal job description of your jobs that we'll never know, or
Right.
maybe we'll find out 100 years from now when it gets declassified. I can see how psychologically there's this boundary that forms where suddenly you guys in your group think in this scenario are like, look, we actually know what's going on here, and we're going to save the people from themselves because they have no fucking idea what they're doing.
100%. There are people, and this is one of the things I explored, because there are people. This is why people. I'm so glad you brought this up. You could not be more accurate. There are people now who want disclosure and they want their pound of flesh. All these people that are part of legacy efforts, put them in front of a court and put them all in jail for lying to the American people. I don't think that's the way to do it. I think what we do is we incentivize them. We give them an award, give them a promotion, say, hey, listen, great. Thank you for your interest in national security. Good job. Now's the time to have the conversation. I think that most of these people that kept this so secret for so long actually believed in their heart they were doing it for the right reason. I think there were people out there who actually felt, look, we already had studies done. We know that the American population can't take this right now. They cannot process this information. They're too worried about Russians and nukes and all this other stuff. We're not going to put that as a priority right now. And by the way, no use having this conversation with the American people because we still have no idea where they're from or what they want or how it works or anything like that, right? Yeah. We're just now scratching the surface. So it's just like when we were flying the U-2 over Russia, and Russia never, ever, ever made an issue. We flew it in contravention of an actual treaty with them that we would not fly manned reconnaissance missions over mainland Russia. And what do? We built the U-2 with the CIA and Lockheed Martin Skunk Works, and we start flying them. And the Russians never reacted. So we thought, hey, the plane flies too high and too fast. They can't detect it. The Russians were tracking every single flight from day one. The only reason why they didn't make an issue of it is why? Because they didn't have a capability to neutralize it. And it wasn't until they were able to actually successfully shoot one down with an SA-2 surface-to-air missile did they tell the world the reality, hey, look what America is doing, right? So why admit a problem for which there is no solution? I can understand from a national security perspective, people in our own government having that same mindset. Why are we going to acknowledge a problem which we don't even understand yet? I get that. I don't agree with it, but I can respect that understanding. I can respect that mindset. And in their hearts, they feel like they really are doing their patriotic duty. So from that perspective, I get it. And back to what you just said to me, a bunch of guys sitting around in a skiff and saying, hey, these morons can't handle it.
I'm not saying that's their attitude. I'm saying it's like a passive feeling that comes in like, oh my God, if only these people knew. You know what I mean?
Well, but that's every day in the intelligence world, brother. I mean, I don't sleep well at night because of crap I've learned. And it has nothing to do with the UAP community. I mean, I'm telling you, that's the cost of information. People say, well, I want to know. But, you go to the doctor and the doctor says, hey, listen, before we talk, you want me to be truthful with you, everything, right? On your yeah, I want tell me about my medical exam. You sure you want me to be truthful with you? Yeah, I want you to be truthful with me. You have stage 4 cancer. Oh shit! I wish you wouldn't have been truthful with me. I mean, I would have been better off not knowing that. Or going to a friend and saying, hey, listen, this fiance you have, yeah, great guy, great gal. Do you want to? I've got some information. Do you want me to share it with you? Yeah, let me know. You sure? Yeah, of course I want to know. They've been cheating on you the entire time. Oh, I didn't want to know, right? So in intelligence is like that. You learn things all the time that probably would be better off not knowing, but it's your job. And so that's not just with the UFO stuff. That's with a lot of things, national security. There's a lot of things that would keep people up at night. Fortunately, we have really good people in the intelligence community that are professionals and they can do their job. And their job is to stop the worst thing from happening. And most of the time, they're very successful with that. So, if there was any type of consolation prize in this, is that there are very, very good people, very patriotic people who lose sleep every night so we don't have to.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important that we don't villainize everybody in the government. The moment you say, "Oh, I worked intel," "Oh, you're one of those." All right, look, it was a job, okay, but we didn't do it to deceive anybody else. We were deceiving the enemy, not you, not the American people weren't the enemy. Denial and deception and information operations and all those things. You do it to fight and win wars. You don't do it because you're bored. You don't do it because you're just let's go figure something out to go and be disruptive. That's not the way it works. And I think that's part of the problem we have in this conversation, because not our conversation, but in the bigger conversation, because there's such a lack of trust in the government now. This is why it's important now more than ever. We need to show good faith in the government. We have to do it. And because right now,
I see what I thought you said. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So you see in the context I'm trying to say here, right?
Yes.
So this is, again, why this accountability and transparency is so important. Now, at the end of the day, is there a better way to do it? Could be. Could be. Could I be wrong in this approach? Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think people are always going to be skeptical because of the fact that we've seen such, as you laid out yourself with some examples, we've seen such a breakdown in the trust of institutions through some things that they have done wrong, which again, and this is unfortunate, but my friend Jared Dillian, who I had on the podcast for episode 182 or 183, he is a former Lehman Brothers guy. And he had this line in a memoir he wrote about Lehman Brothers, is that he put it like this. He said there were approximately 20,000 people who worked at Lehman Brothers. And I can tell you 19,995 of them were really good at their jobs and tried very hard.
That's right.
Now, I always amend it to probably 19,970, but you get the point.
Yeah.
It takes a very small turd in the punch bowl to ruin that punch bowl.
Right. And that's why in government especially it's so important. This is my anti-corruption issue here, because it just takes a few people in government to do bad things and the entire government looks crap. And this is another concern, because it's easy to blame the government. Oh, this government is big, huge, monolithic thing. No, government's just made of people. And there are some good people, really good people in government, and there's a couple that not so
not good. Yeah.
Not so good, right? And unfortunately, it kind of paints with a broad stroke the entire government. And so it's important we don't villainize the government. It's like a police officer. Yeah, there's a couple dirty cops out there, but most of them are putting their life on the line to save your ass. They're good people. They go home, they pay their bills, and they're putting their life on the line every day for you. Same with our military. Same with our intelligence professionals. But it just takes one or two, and now you've got a corrupt police department.
That's right. Now, look, if we're going to be fair and we're going to be assessing the morality and the actions of the government, we also have to look at the other side of this, which is something you outline in your book pretty well, which is, thank you for watching the video, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, please smash that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.